I work at the British Atmospheric Data Centre, and we hold data that's climate model data, and we hold observation data, so from all sorts of climate and meteorological observations. We're based at the Rutherford Appleton Laboratory, which is near to the Diamond Light Source, near Oxford. We run a website for the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, which is a data distribution centre. So we provide free access to climate simulations that are used in IPCC assessment reports, and also the integrated models that are used to build the scenarios that some of those reports are based on. So we're a data holding for the IPCC. I'm really interested in how people document the models and the simulations that they do, so that other people can understand them and they can understand them themselves. And so that's why I'm interested in ERMITAGE, because at the STFC we have some integrated assessment model data, and the ERMITAGE are a group of integrated assessment modelers who are willing to talk to us about really what goes on inside their models. And it helps us to build a way of documenting integrated assessment models that can be used to benefit ERMITAGE, and also we can then use that for our own data holdings. It gives a really efficient way of accessing information about what's contained within the models. And that means that decision makers and policy makers can have a really quick view of what's involved in a model. So that helps them make their own decisions. And it also helps other modelers know if the information, the data that they're going to use from a model is compatible with the kind of research that they want to do. And it's a quick way of documenting stuff. It means they don't have to read through a great tome about a model and wade through papers. It's a really fast way of doing that. The other benefit of having a digital method is that we can link those data resources to the information about the data. So that's a continuous, seamless connection that is attached to the data from models and information about those models as well. Also, by documenting models in a standard way, using a standard set of vocabulary, then every model is described using the same method, and they all use the same words to mean the same things, and that just helps everybody. We've been using our documentation system to document climate models, all the climate models that are going into the next IPCC assessment report are using our methodology of controlled vocabularies. And that helps the modelers themselves to understand each other's models. And it provides a legacy for researchers who'll be using this data for the next 10 years or so to do their climate change research. They'll understand, hopefully, more about why different models behave in different ways. Well, I'm really interested in the weather, and that's something that grew up from childhood. I grew up on the coast, and you see the weather coming in off the sea, and I just really like the science of the world around me that I live in. You know, it means something to me when I see weather maps on the television. It physically means something to me now, and I see this clouds and I know when it's going to rain. I can tell that. I just like being able to read the world around me. And so really I got into climate science through meteorology and being interested in that. And so the thing about climate change is that we know that there's a forcing on the climate, but how that manifests itself is through weather events. And so that's really my interest in climate science. The more I learn, the more scared I get, and the more I think it's really important that as a global community we make some really important decisions about how we can mitigate and how we can adapt to the changing climate.